Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today we're going to be having a look at a game played between Armani in the bottom right and Byun in the top left, spawning as the red Terran player. Map is going to be romanticide, as we all can see, and so far Byun not opening with anything too special. Ooh! Actually, this might look very normal in a standard TVZ. Byun is opening up with a Reaper first, but lately, and when I say lately, I mean for the past 4 or 5 months, Byun has much preferred opening up with Marine first into Reactor. He has a plethora of builds that open up with a Marine, then a Reactor and more Marines, whether that's going to be a Hellbat push, maybe a Mine drop. He also sometimes plays 3 racks before triple CC. He really just has a crap ton of build orders, which he all can use in different ways. They all look almost exactly the same. They're difficult to scout because there's so many Marines. And I'm a bit surprised actually to see him go for this Reaper first, because he hardly ever plays like that. Now, Armani of course is going to be used to that Reaper. He did open up with 2 sets of links, so still is going to be fine. Let's see how this Reaper control out of Byun is going to be. So far so good. Control is very good actually. Who am I kidding? Oh my god. He's very rapid. Very, very fast. Killed 1 link so far. Is going to be going for this drone. Gets the drone actually. That's a drone and a link. Is gonna... Well, this is a risky move. If this queen was in position, I feel like this Reaper might just have died. He's gonna throw another grenade here as well. And then immediately we'll start healing his Reaper. Or well, the Reaper will start healing itself. It's very funny. The Reaper is self-medicating, but actually healing itself. And the Marines and Marauders, when they self-medicate, it just... Well, it's not really self-medication, it's just doing drugs. Follow-up here is going to be... this looks a lot like a triple CC Hellion Banshee build order. Now there's a couple of follow-ups with this one. You can go into different amounts of cars, and the more cars you get, the later you will hit with your next Marine drop. So I believe that the least amount of cars you can go for is 4, and then you follow up with double barracks. But you can also go for 8 cars or 6 cars. Or I even seen Cure go up to 12 cars with this. In that case, most of the time you're going to be adding an armory as well, and you kind of want to do a very late Hellbat push. This is one of the first builds I actually saw when I initially started playing Terran. So I watched the Cure replay and I was like, oh, look at that. Goes up to 12 cars and then Hellbat pushes. So for a while I did a lot of Hellbat pushes because I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty okay build. Most likely not going to be the case here, even though Byun does really like his Hellbat pushes. But whenever Byun likes to do Hellbat pushes, he much prefers doing them with a medevac and with a bigger amount of Marines. So you'd continue building Marines with this barracks. It's not going to be the case for now. We see 2 cars are out, car 5 and 6 are on the way. 7 8 are also coming, yep. SCV wasn't walking towards building a barrack, so the only thing he really could be doing is indeed going up to 8 cars. So this is the most aggressive opener. I'm a little bit surprised he goes for this, because if we take a look at how this map works, we see that there's not a lot of opportunity to walk in somewhere with cars or to do something with these cars, right? I mean, this front area is just defended by 2-3 queens. The rotations that the Hellions need to make are endlessly long. I'm actually really surprised. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, wait, why would you go up to 8 cars? Like, what's your plans? He's gonna need to do a drive-by or something, but I just don't see it happen, honestly. 1-1's already on the way here for Armani, who decided to go for double evo before a layer. I do like that opener a lot. Baneling nest also coming in. Yeah, Byun tries to go in, but... I mean, you can actually just move these queens as one unit. You don't need to split the queens as you need to on other maps, where you have like 3 queens over here, 2 over here, because the rotation is so long. You can see it coming light years ahead of time. Now this I do like. Byun's been actually really passive with these cars. He's gotten a single worker kill, and that was with the Reaper. So far I think he's got a single link kill with these cars. These 2 Banshees will be able to deal a little bit of damage. They indeed will be able to take out 4 workers here immediately, which is nice. Now, of course, the use later on for these cars is going to be that they can join in with a Hellbat attack, or perhaps they can they can just defend very well against run-bys, which, woo, you know, it's okay, but it's not great. These medevacs are really late, are they? No, they're not even that late. There's just no Marines. Look at this. Look how... Where's the Marines? Oh, they're all here. Never mind. 11 Marines. Still is very little at 6:30. These 8 cars are just... They just delay everything so much. You're gonna need to do something with these cars. Like, you can't just go 8 Hellions and say to yourself, well, nice. I'm nice and safe. Like, something needs to be done here, and... I think it needs to be with the first 2 medevacs. I think you need to just add an armory and start going. He's adding the armory, but it could just be for the extra upgrades. I'd also be surprised if he doesn't use them, just because there's such a big wall already in the front, which means that run-bys are pretty easy to deal with. This is one hell of a depot wall, by the way. I wonder why I didn't just go and build it there. A little bit surprising, if you ask me. 2 Banshees once again returning, this time not pre-cloaking. I think that's a mistake, because as a result Armani will be able to walk into position. The single queen will be able to get a little bit of damage on these Banshees as well. Good scan takes out a couple of creep tumors. Might actually lose a Hellion here. Let's see if we're gonna see a morph into Helbets. I'd be really surprised if we don't. These 2 Banshees are gonna die for free. I don't think Byun is playing the cleanest game so far. I don't think he is. Looking a little bit sloppy. What is this? Is this a run-by or a flank? Or is this... That was really close. If Byun sees that, he might just get all of these links for free. Now this might actually start working as a flank. I'm not sure if there's going to be any Banelings in there. I don't think that Armani will have the patience. I don't think he needs to have the patience. Queens are moving forward. Oh, here comes the engagement. Out of the Zerg player, just runs in with all of the links. Banelings taking out a lot of these Marines as well, and both of these tanks are going to fall. These Marines will be able to get evacuated by the medevacs, but this was an absolutely fantastic hold here out of Armani, who held this on 82 workers, immediately starts 7 more. Lurker Den, Hive, Infestation Pit was already done. He has a hatchery, a proxy, jeez, what's it called? A macro hatchery in the main base. No 5th base yet, but it's also about to start. He has way too many workers for the amount of bases he's going to be having. 89 workers for 4 bases. Gonna mean there will be a little bit of oversaturation on, well, at least one of them bases. Scop is gonna try to deal a little bit of damage. Didn't really get anything done. Still a bunch of links, which is nice, but no. I love it when you start stutter stepping to try to catch up with Banelings. It's such a ballsy move. It's actually really, really tricky. Now the double drop in the main, also doing a little bit of damage here. Oh, Banelings moving in. Let's see, do we get a target? Oh, that was so nice. Very proper target fire there out of Byun, taking out the only 3 Banelings that are there. Honestly, if you're playing against Byun or against Clem or against Maru, and you're going in with like 25 links and just 3 Banelings, you know they're gonna get sniped. It's naive to believe that they're gonna arrive to their destination. Like, that was really nice. That was such a nice move. I really did like that. The thing is that you need a lot of confidence for that. It's not necessarily even that difficult to do. It's just the fact that they always do it and they almost always succeed. Like, just the confidence saying, all right, I'm just gonna stand there and shoot and I know it's going to die. I just think it's really cool. It's a big show of confidence. Now we're gonna see a pickup here on these 2 medevacs. Byun is up about 10-15 supply. A lot of that though is because Armani has a bit of a bank. Byun's going to be moving forward, and this defense could potentially actually be difficult. There's 5 lurkers here, but they don't have seismic spines yet, so they're not actually going to be useful defending an army like this, where there's, what, 4 tanks. You can just run in there. There's no adaptive talents either. So I actually think, yeah, Link Bane will go over here. No, I think these lurkers should actually be heading towards the top side. I'm not quite sure what they're doing right now. I don't think the lurkers defending here is that great of a move. They should definitely... Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious that there's always going to be a split army. Every Terran always splits his army all the time. This base might actually fall. That's going to be very annoying because Like I mentioned before, there's about 85 workers. There's 40 more on the way. He's going up to 99 workers. But he's going to be on 4 bases. That's actually a little bit painful. And now Byun is going to be moving forward with a big tank count as well. I actually think that... is Armani in trouble? I'm not sure. It's hard to say, no? It really is quite tricky. So these lurkers are here. I mean, the Vipers are just going to be too good now. Hello? Mr. Byun? A little bit ballsy? Much? Insane drop into the main base here. I don't think this is quite going to work out, is it? Well, 2 Vipers are going to get taken out immediately. These medevacts are really low. There's no more parasitic bomb available. And now the lurkers are going to burrow on the high ground. The tanks will shoot from a distance, but this tank will die as well, most likely. Here comes Byun. Good split. There's also a fight on the low ground. 11 workers going down already. All of these lurkers just died. Byun actually making it work, at least for now. 19 workers have gone down. What's over here? Okay, that's a medevac. There's another arm. This is not gonna work. That army is not gonna do it. They'll walk into these queens and say to themselves, alright, that's it. So medevac's gonna go in and die. Transfuse is being cast here. Yep. This is going to get pushed back. This was a really cool attack out of Byun though, and killing 20 workers is a big deal. It means right now it's 80 workers against 75. I'd love to see a sensor tower on the right side though. Get a little bit of extra spotting over here, making sure that any potential lurker attacks can't hurt him too much. No, he started +3 armor again first. You gotta be kidding me. This is one of the things. Okay, Byun is the greatest player. He's brilliant. I love him, but if I see this +3 armor one more time, I'm actually gonna lose it. This is such a common occurrence for a lot of the Korean Terrans for whatever reason. And I've asked around and no one knows why they do it. Everyone says it's a pretty decently sized error because the armor on the Marines doesn't actually matter that much, because most of the time they're either going to be fighting Lurker Spines or they're going to be fighting Banelings, and both of those units don't really care too much about armor. And damage output on Marines obviously is the most important thing. So yeah, the armor upgrade, it just doesn't really make sense. It really doesn't. It's just a mistake. Like, even if it's a conscious mistake, it's still a mistake. I can't imagine a world in which getting armor on this many Marines is better when you're playing against Lurker or Baneling. Maybe if your opponent is playing Massling and nothing else. Well, even then, I think because you're a ranged unit, it might still be better. Oh, this is... Well, what is this going to be? One attack. I think it might be a good attack here for Byun once again. A lot of these Banelings are semi-connecting, though. These Lurkers are still alive as well, but yep. Byun does get a slightly better trade. 86 workers right now for Armani, taking a 6th base as well. I don't like orbital commands on 5th bases. I really don't. I much would have preferred if this was just a planetary. We have oh my god. 8? What is that? 12? No, 10, 12? Yeah. He's like 12 mules ready at this point. You know, tank is in position to deal with the Nidus here. At the same time, we have a fight here in the bottom side. The Nidus is not being attacked by this tank. Lurkers are going to be popping out here. This tank is going to just straight up die. And Armani says, well, that was that's one hell of a scan, buddy, but you only have a single ghost here. This ghost is most likely also going to get shot down by the Lurkers. Lurkers actually fighting the production is painful. These reactors, these tech labs will get down. Maybe even going to be able to get 1 or 2 barracks here. Now ghosts are trying to move in. 5 ghosts, will it be enough to clean this up? The answer is going to be yes, I guess. Except this Lurker is still going to be on the high ground. He's going to leave the Nidus alive. At the same time, this base is going to get taken out. 12 workers immediately get blasted. Now, I don't think the fact that this is an orbital actually mattered too much, because it was just too much. Planetary also would have gone down. Now, there's a little bit of Byun's army here at his 4th base. Because the Nidus in the main base is being reset up. The Lurker in the main is also going to be taken out. And no more units will pop out of this Nidus, as Byun is semi-ready at this point. Couple of Marines, Liberator. Problem for him is that he's just on 5 bases. He did lose one of the orbitals as well, so he lost 2 orbitals in the past minute or so. And it's actually gonna ruin his income a little bit. 60 workers rather than the 78 he had before. He's not really going into the super late game where you play extremely defensively. The one thing that is very fun with Byun, and also tends to be his downfall at times, is that he wants to keep attacking again and again and again. Even if his army consists of 20 ghosts, or what is this, 15, 14? 15 ghosts here. He still wants to continue attacking, and that sometimes just hurts him a little bit. Sometimes it's just good to set up for a bit, make sure that everything is safe before you start moving out. Now this tank was in position, but the rest of the army is not going to be in time. Another base is gonna go down. Byun goes down to 3 bases. 3 base against, what is this gonna be, 7 bases. Now Byun still has a chance. And I've mentioned this before, and this tends to be the case in many matchups. And the thing that happens here is that if Byun gets the max out on an army with 38 SCVs, he's gonna have a terribly big army, like just insanely big. It's gonna be what, 162 army supply is what it would have, I believe, if I do my math correctly. And I did 162. Like, you just have such a big army, and with ghosts you can actually take really nice trades as well. So this seems like a smaller army though than the 140. Oh, there's so much at home right now. No, you can't be fighting right now. Byun needs to have his entire army together. He's gonna get caught here out of position. I don't think this was his intention. He wanted a free pickoff, but instead he's going to get a free ass whooping. And that is extremely painful. Loses about 60-70 army supply. Oh, a couple of EMPs will go down. Now the backup army shows up, but just a little bit too late, because the trade that he needed to take wasn't a trade. It was he needed to be the one just giving basically a complete beating to Armani. He needed to kill an entire army, losing 10-15 supply. And it is possible if you have 10-12 tanks, you have 15 ghosts, 16 ghosts, a bunch of marauders, marines, a lot of medevacts. He had the army for it, but the army wasn't together. And now he needs to build up that army again, but it's just going to be so freaking difficult. He just doesn't have the money for it. He doesn't have the gas. He can drop a couple of mules. He still has a lot of mules available. I'm surprised by how little Byun actually decides to mule in these games. Long distance mining gas as well in the natural. I like it. And when I say I like it, I mean I don't quite understand it, but it is what it is. So, what is that? Why does it not look like an orbital command landing? It looks like just a regular command center is going to be going there, but that indeed isn't. These tanks just stood there and they were like, alright, I guess we'll shoot them and they'll kill us. Lynx just kind of kept walking. So a lot of Lynx did go down there, but also 3 tanks went down. The Vipers will probably try to move in at some point. There's no enhanced shockwave, which is the ghost radius upgrade. A couple of snipes are going to be cast here, or the snipes will be used. Tanks on the high ground will assist in this fight, but I think that Armani might just have too much here. Decent blinding cloud on some of these tanks, parasitic bombs as well. And with the lurkers moving forward, I don't think there's enough Byun to fight off the Armani that is still there. This base is gonna get taken out. This tank will get taken out. Byun somehow still believes in it. This sensor tower never finished up. 99%. GG gets called, and Armani wins this banger of a game on romanticide. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all had a great time. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all next time for more videos. Bye bye.